My attorney told me that this is something that should be handled out of court. Okay, I went to Mr. Colthorpe to try to handle this thing, and at the time I owed approximately $10,000 on my note. I told him I would sell this band contract and settle it all for $10,000. $3,000 down and be paid out at $722 a month, which is exactly my note payment at the bank, and here's my bank book right there to prove it.
Mr. Fletcher, did you have original knowledge of the handbill, which was critical of the LCB, before it was distributed?
No, sir.
Do you have influence with the Liquor Control Board? Have you ever been offered protection from the Liquor Control Board?
No, sir.
Do you know of anybody else
Yes,
who
sir.
has?
Yes, sir.
Who are they?
I'm going to save that and bring it out in Austin when I go to the open hearing they're having down there the 29th of January.
But you will bring that out
Yes, sir.
this month.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fletcher, why are you afraid to divulge any more information about the LCB? You go to it.
Well, I don't want the liquor board to get in on me, see? And if I go stepping on all these toes, I know something's got to happen.
Judge Sterrett, there's been a lot of controversy on the Chamber's proposal of putting a tax rate of 28 cents on. Do you feel that this has been earmarked for Woodall-Rogers Freeway?
I've just heard that recently, and I was rather surprised. I'm firmly convinced, in fact, I know that what motivated the Chamber was to protect the Elgin Robertson's master plan that the commissioners have adopted.
Now, would you be in favor of the county using present county funds for construction of Woodall-Rogers?
I wouldn't favor using any funds other than to protect the master plan. It's a unique plan. It's good. It's one of the finest things that's happened to this county. Of course, if we had a surplus, I wouldn't hesitate to use it on Woodall-Rogers, because that is a state highway, and it's the only state highway in Dallas County that the county doesn't participate.
It has been earlier last year proposed that we have a road bond election. This was turned down, I believe, by the committee. Do you feel that we should have one now?
There was some talk several months ago, and I think commissioners agreed that Woodall-Rogers should be included in the next bond election.
The first public inkling that Assistant Superintendent for Personnel, Dr. E.D. Walker, was going to retire came at the recent school board meeting, when Dr. Walker's name did not appear on this list of recommendation for assistant superintendents by Dr. White. But Dr. Walker's retirement perhaps is no surprise to anyone who knows him, and there are many people who do, for he's been with the Dallas School District for 46 years, perhaps as long or longer than anyone else. I think you've said you feel about the Dallas school system just about the way a man feels about his wife.
Yes, I think that's true. I think that I've been in the Dallas school so long that it's just kind of a part of me, and whenever anybody criticizes the Dallas schools, I figure that I feel that criticizes me, and I don't feel very happy about it. And then, as you said, I think that criticism of the Dallas schools would have the same effect on me as somebody criticizing my wife or even my minister.
Has education become big business now?
Oh yes, and within recent years, it's become really big business because even right here in the Dallas schools, for example, way back in 1922 when I first came in the system, I think our whole annual budget at that time was only about $4 million a year. Well, now it runs up nearly $90 million. For example, in the personnel office here, when I first came in here, there were just two people. I had the secretary, Miss Ethel Carter, and I were the only two people in. Now then, there's 17 people in personnel, and we have a hard time keeping up with all the work.
That puts greater pressures on you individually. Will you be glad to get away from the pressures?
Well, yes, that'll be the chief reward for retirement. Will be getting out from under the terrific pressure that increases every year.
What plans do you have? I know you won't retire actually until the end of this coming summer, but what are you going to do with your time?
Well, I haven't made any definite plans yet. I think that for a while at least I'll just see how it is not to be responsible for anything except myself.
Do you think it'll be a good feeling for a short while?
Yeah. I don't know how long that'll last.